Okay, so today's game is to write a letter that does not have a specific recipient, but a letter to like the universe, to everything, to life itself. And this letter is going to be a letter of gratitude. You're going to be saying thank you. You're going to be expressing how grateful and how wonderful this thing is that in real life you haven't even gotten yet. So you're going to be picking something that you want but haven't yet gotten, and you're going to write almost like it's in the future as though you have gotten it, and this would be the letter of gratitude that you would write to the universe or to life for this amazing thing that you have been wanting, and wow, this feeling that you've got now that you have it. And that's what the letter's going to be like. So right away, it's cool because it's a gratitude practice. And gratitude has definitely been getting a lot of attention and is getting known for a very important kind of like muscle or skill to have. It can absolutely shift your perspective. It makes you more flexible with your perspective. It shifts your mood. It puts you in a place of acceptance and surrender of what is, you know, and more able to appreciate your life, a better sort of place of wonder, a more nourishing type of state of being. Gratitude, you know? So this is already something. We are doing something and expressing gratitude that is already just like life-giving and magical, a skill and a great exercise in and of itself. But we're also going to get all the other added fun bonuses of, well, we get to pick what it is that we want. And I'm, as always, not just saying to do one of these letters. I say do at least a whole week of these letters, 3 days of these letters. Man, do them for the entire month. Anytime something comes to you, anytime you catch yourself wanting or longing for something, write a letter. So it doesn't have to be just a one-off. I mean, at least do that. But it's interesting to see what you come up with and to see what you feel inspired to write a letter about. When I was presented with this activity, you know, you would think that you would just write thank you for, you know, these general things. But I had to really feel it. I'm definitely the type of person where if I'm going to sit down and write a letter about it, I wanted to really feel it. If I'm going to get into a role and like pretend and do this like imaginary projection in the future, I have to really feel it and be like, oh yeah, thank you for this. Plus I want it to be fun. Okay. So that's the other component of this. I want you to get really into it so that it can be fun, so that you're really talking about the details of like, oh my God, it was so awesome when this happened. You can use sarcasm. You can use inside jokes with yourself because it's maybe a letter to yourself or the universe, you know, and get into it. Let it be like exhilarating and funny and even, like healing. You know, if you want to get something off your chest that's been driving you crazy, that you just want this thing and you just never can have it, and you're almost to the point of just like hating it and like being angry at it because it never shows up. Well then, you know, use this almost as a venting, as a sarcastic, like way to flip it and be like, thank you so much, you know, and like play it out and let it be something that, like I said, is healing. And playful, right? I mean, that's the whole point. But, you know, it'll be interesting to see what you can get in there and get extremely sort of motivated and inspired to write a letter about. It might be the things that are on your wish list that you know. You're like, oh, these are my biggest wants in life. These are the top 3. These are the top 5. But then again, it may not. I did not write my first letter for the biggest thing that I think I want in my life. It's like, you know, I think when somebody asks me that question, okay, here are my top 3. My first letter was not for the top 3. It wasn't. I was feeling really moved or inspired to write about something that just came up in the moment. And it was smaller and it was more specific to my current moment. And then the second letter that I wrote also wasn't my top 3. It was something that I had never even thought that I really wanted. I wouldn't have written it down on this big list of like my major wants in life. It happened because I was pissed. I was feeling like all unsettled and dissatisfied about not doing my dance routine the way I wanted to. And I just couldn't shake it. And I couldn't stop criticizing the way that I had done it. And I just was like, ugh, I'm in such a bad mood about this, you know? And like, what is it? And so I wrote a letter of gratitude for that ultimate dance piece that I've been wanting to do, that just flows deeply out of me, that, you know, is like this or like that, and that makes me feel this. It makes me feel so deeply inspired. It makes me feel like more of myself. It makes me feel like I'm just being moved through. It makes me feel like I'm actually communicating with my body and like saying the most beautiful poetry and words. It makes me feel like I want to cry because I'm so touched, and my spirit is just like the thing that's present. My heart is so full, and I'm just so touched that I'm brought to, you know, deep emotion, and others are, and that we're actually talking and connecting, that they can see my soul, that I'm like bearing my soul through this dance. And I had to get in there and describe it. And I just wouldn't have even written that down as something in my life that was on my top 3 once. But this is kind of what happens. I let the inspiration of these letters be my guide, and different stuff than I expected came up. But also, you could write them about your top 3, because then I did eventually get around to writing about those big things that I know I want. And they almost drive me crazy that I want them, because I've wanted them for a long time. And I feel like I have just beaten that horse to death. And I've tried and I've tried and I've tried for them, but they're not here yet. And so I almost, you know, so like whatever, had a bad attitude, but it shifted things to get into the gratitude. Not just because it let me let go of some of the bitterness for a moment and just like step into the feeling of like actually getting it, but it also revealed certain things about those things that I wanted that I hadn't really thought of before. You just want the thing and you just kind of leave it at that, you know? So for me, it might be like a partner in life. I want the thing, and I just leave it at that. And yeah, sure, I've like described what it is that I'm looking for in a partner, but it's totally different when you're saying what I want, what is missing. Here's what would be nice. Here's what would be nice, versus you get into this place of, thank you so much. This is amazing. I finally have this, and here's what it's like. Here's what it feels like. Thank you, universe. I feel relieved, or I feel, you know, and I mean, that's just the first one, right? Because I think almost anybody that's been wanting something is going to feel some relief when they get it. But really flesh out, how does it make you feel? What things are the best? And then, but be personal too. Not just like some sort of bland sort of prayer, where it's like, thank you for this, it was wonderful. Like, be personal, as though you know this entity, this everything, like your best friend, you know, that you see every day. Get personal. Be like, oh my God, the thing that is so awesome about this that I didn't even see coming, or the best part about finally getting whatever a partner is not having to waste my time wanting it anymore, or the best thing about having a partner is just having someone to hold hands with, or, you know, whatever. I mean, this one's kind of cliche, so I feel like I should do a better example. But, you know, I guess that's kind of the thing. When I started writing it down, I started realizing other things about the partnership. I was really longing for someone to inspire me. Like, some of the stuff that I was most grateful for wasn't just like, I get all this like affection and I get treated like a queen. It was like, or that I get respected, or that somebody's over here, you know, appreciating me. It was like that I really was longing to feel that way about. So I wanted to respect someone else. I wanted to be inspired and in awe. I wanted to be impressed by someone else, or feel like I could believe in the world, that there were amazing people out there, and that like this person is like constantly astonishing me with like, you know, whatever things that make me respect all of life or humanity, or like make me see the wonder and the beauty and the majesty of the human spirit, or whatever. And the crap too. Like, I wouldn't be noticing the wonder. I wouldn't be in awe and wonder if it wasn't for, or if it weren't for the other side too. You know, it's like, man, and I saw him get so pissed, and it's awesome. We can be pissed together. We can bitch together. He lets me do whatever. He doesn't get worried if he hears me going off, because he knows that I'm me anyway, and he trusts who I am. And we can, like, you know, have crappy days together, and we can decide we don't even feel in the mood to talk, but there's like that peace that we can do that together. Or I see how he handles it. I see how he handles his bad mood, or I see him pull himself out of some funk and do some stuff in life anyway, or, you know, whatever. Or he makes me laugh, or we do laugh, or we cry. Like, he makes me freaking cry. I love the feeling of caring so much about someone that I cry when it's not okay for us, or whatever. You know, these are the things that when you really fish and like, what are the things you're grateful for? All of the things that you're grateful for. Some things might pop up. I mean, it does help you to like stretch your gratefulness and your desire, therefore, you know, into all the areas. Like, do I just desire a partner, or do I also, is the real specific thing that I desire, you know, someone who I could cry over because I actually care about them that much, or I want to matter to them. I want to see them cry, you know, things like that, where it's like ways you wouldn't have said it. You wouldn't have said that, you know, typically when you're writing down your list of things you want in a dude, or a partner, you know, you wouldn't say those things per se, but yeah, and more gets revealed. It's very interesting to get specific and to flip it from the other side as if you already have it, and to play with that, and then to see what else comes forward. Because when I started saying what I was thankful for, I don't know, some of the things too were just simple. I am a big thinker, and I love to get into this like deep heart juiciness, and the heart and the mind and the relationship between the two are my favorite. And I love this like depth and, you know, really talking about the deep stuff. But when I was saying the things I was grateful for, and really getting into it like I was talking to a friend, and really revealing or confessing. Confessing is this like important thing that we've done in our culture for years. And it's like, it releases the things that are in there and that have been under pressure because they've been, you know, you've been longing for them, or you've been holding on to them, or restricting them because you're kind of afraid to let them out, or you're afraid of what it might mean, or you're embarrassed, whatever, all the reasons. Like, the confessing, it's like such a release. And I would be like confessing to my trusted, hilarious friend, the universe, that like, hey, you know, what I'm so damn relieved about is just to have a teammate, you know? And so what I'm saying is, I ended up saying things that were so simple. Just a human next to me, or someone to look at, or someone who could touch my hand, or someone who could build a fire with me, or, you know, things that were like, oh, interesting. So I would have thought that it would have been all the philosophical things, and all the deep stuff, and all the inspiration, and all the stuff I was talking about before, because those did come out and those were an important part of it. But I probably would have stopped there and just like looked for this, or thought that all it was this deep soul thing, and this, you know, big sort of grandiose thing. But man, did I also see that it was so simple. There was so much of the simplicity that I wanted that was like, God, I'm almost even embarrassed to say it. But if I'm writing a letter and I'm saying what I'm really grateful for, and if I'm being honest, man, I'm grateful for an actual teammate to just be in the presence of, to just share waking moments with, to share life's moments with. Somebody who can look over at my kid and like laugh at what they're doing too. And that's it. That's it. You know, just like so simple, super, super simple stuff showed up more than I would have really put out there myself. So anyway, these are why we're doing it, plus the fun. I mean, mostly the fun. But it's a reflection tool. It reflects things back to you, and you see little avenues that you might not have, and then you're exercising gratitude, and maybe, hopefully, doing magic, doing magic in the world with like your heart's beautiful, amazing electromagnetic field, because you have this amazing electromagnetic field. I keep saying that electromagnetic field around your heart. And we don't even know all the different things that this field does, but you get into this heart space when you are grateful. And you get into this frequency, this certain hum or vibration. And I won't say good or bad, higher or lower, just you get into this hum that is the gratitude hum. And it affects your electromagnetic field. Your heart sends it out as a message. Who knows the power that your heart has? It feels like quite a lot, doesn't it? And so, like I said, hopefully at best, you're going to like shift and put your heart into this electromagnetic state of gratitude hum where magic can light up. You know, you're going to affect things and actually do some magic. Who knows what kind? Yeah, I think I do, but just see how you like it.